Yo, I got an updated tank tier list for you guys for Mythic Plus for Season 2. There's been a lot of things shifting around with what's good, what's not. We got a rework coming for Guardian Druid. The dungeons are kind of coming in full force. People are completing plus 25 keys, plus 24, plus 25. So we're seeing a lot of changes. People are getting their tier set. So I want to give you guys an updated tank tier list of where I think the tanks stand right now. Looking at the rankings on Raider.io, also from my experience and my opinion here. I do want to say too that I think every tank is viable in Mythic Plus. You can play any tank up to plus 20 keys, so play what you enjoy, okay? That matters the most. I managed also to play every single tank except for Brewmaster Monk, but I've been watching some gameplay on it. I've been keeping up to date with how it's doing, so we're going to rank it based off that. But feel free to leave your opinions down below, guys, as always. So let's cover the tiers real quick. So we got S gods here. These are the best specs with not a lot of weaknesses. A is awesome. Have a little bit more weaknesses or maybe don't quite bring the same utility or damage profiles to S and god tier. B is really solid tank. You can probably push some higher keys. Just maybe some more weaknesses, whether that's magical damage, damage mitigation, or physical damage. C, med, there's some clear weaknesses of why these tanks aren't matching up these other ones and probably need some help. D is sin help though. Like you need some kind of rework, buffs, something needs to happen. Because oh my gosh, and I want to say right off the bat too, none of the tanks are down here at all. There's a really good balance right now between all the tanks, which is really cool. Not quite as good as Season 1 in my opinion, but really dang close. Let's jump right into it. Start us off, let's go with Vengeance Demon Hunter, and I'll try to make this tier list quick for you guys. Vengeance Demon Hunter belongs in S tier. It's an absolutely incredible tank. I think it's the second best tank in the game, especially if you have your 4 set. I'm telling you, this tank is rising up. It is amazing, especially with the Down in Flames build, which adds an extra fire brand charge and reduces its cooldown along with your 4 set. Holy crap, you are pumping damage, okay? You are doing incredible single target damage, incredible AoE damage, basically all the time. And it adds a lot to your damage mitigation as well. If you check out now, he's completed some of the top keys in the world right now for Vengeance Demon Hunter. He's competing with Prot Paladins with their utility and how much off healing they do. That's insane, guys. Absolutely insane. You should definitely check him out if you haven't. You'll learn a lot about tanking. But guys, I'm telling you, I don't even have my 4 set right now. I'm doing around 14, 15 keys, and I'm pumping. I'm pumping crazy damage. It's incredibly fun to play. You have great magical and physical damage mitigation. It's just fun. And when you get your 4 set, if you think Vengeance Demon Hunter doesn't feel good right now and you don't have your 4 set, wait until you get your 4 set. I promise you, you will not regret it. It is insane. Belongs to next year, for sure. Dude, Guardian Druid, I'm putting an A. This isn't, it is so freaking good. There's not a lot of bleed damage, heavy bleed damage, and magical damage in this season, which is completely different from Season 1, especially Temple of the Jade Serpent. Or Ruby Life Pools. So Guardian Druid really struggled, but oh my gosh, guys, right now it is a physical damage mitigation monster. It does really good damage. I've been playing a couple different builds, the Iron Thorns build, and then also the Raze build. Raze build is actually collapse. It's absolutely nuts. But yeah, the Thorns of Iron build is really good, especially if you're pushing iron keys, you're not comfortable, but it's very forgiving to play, which is really nice, easy to pick up, but it's completing some of the highest keys right now. If you guys look on Raider.io, holy shit, they're pumping like crazy. And not only that, but in 10.1.5, they're getting a rework that is going to make this tank, I think they'll be S tier. They might even be the best tank in the game, along with Vengeance Demon Hunter, unless we see some changes to Prot Pally or Vengeance. It might be up there with S tier. It is going to be so freaking good. If you guys love Bear, and you've been waiting to play it for a good, till it's good or whatever for that, now is the time. I'm telling you, it is incredible, and it's going to get even better in mid-season this summer. Holy shit. So A tier for sure. They just bring a lot to the table. Mark of the Wild. They've got battle res. They deal with incorporeals really well. They get it out of Tangle decently okay. They're just really good, guys. Promise you won't regret it. Really fun tank. Protection Warrior. I actually think it's in a good spot. I think I lowered it a little bit earlier on in my predictions because I thought of a lot of other tanks were going to be rising up, but I think it's really good right now. Again, there's not a lot of magical damage you have to deal with, at least as much as Season 1. You do great with physical damage, especially keeping up your shield block, just your uptime for that. It's really freaking good. There's a couple talent changes now that you can like get more haste just passively instead of having to like hard go into haste. But you also bring Battle Shout, so physical damage, like physical damage groups that you have, melee, heavy comps, you're going to be pumping, guys. They're going to be some of the highest keys for sure, and when you get your 4 set, you're doing incredible AoE damage. Really, 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 really good. I think they fall off a little bit in in Raid, but I do think they're really good in Mythic Plus right now. I highly suggest trying them out. If you guys liked it in Season 1, you stick with it in Season 2. You're going to be able to push some incredible keys. I think a lot of people have completed like plus 23s, plus 24s already, and a lot of people aren't max geared yet, don't have the best install items, and probably don't have their tier set as well, 4 set. When you have your 4 set, you'll notice a huge change. Brewmaster Monk, guys, I think it belongs in A tier as well. I think I'm actually going to put Brewmaster here. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put Brewmaster here first. I think it's really an incredible tank right now. I think Guardian Druid actually beats it out in highest dungeons completed at the moment. But I think there's been a little less pushing with Brewmaster Monks overall, especially since their damage nerfs they came in. But they still bring incredible damage. They can feel squishy if you don't know how to play them well. But I promise you, if you play them well, they are very rewarding. Very rewarding. Yeah, like I said, they do incredible damage. You've got great damage mitigation. You don't get one shot. I mean, you can in some instances, but you do well with magical damage. You do well with physical damage. They're a lot of fun to play too. So I think you have some button bloating issues where you have so many freaking keybinds. It's kind of overwhelming. But if you learn to play it and do it well, it's an incredibly rewarding tank. Very fun, very viable right now. And I think we'll see that continue on as the season goes. So yeah, high 8 tier for sure. I think they're the 3rd best tank in the game right now. I think Guardian Druid is number 4. I really do think, and I think that we'll see them rise up again, like I said, in midway season 10.1.5. Prot Paladin, guys. Y'all know it. It's still the best tank right now. Even after the nerfs in April, it's still incredible. You bring so much freaking utility to the group, okay? The things that you can do, the things that you can survive, I mean, you've got so many things like Eye of Tear, Sentinel, Ardent Defender, Guardian of Ancient Kings. You've got Divine Shield with Mass Taunts that basically just makes you immune to damage. You have Mass AoE interrupts. It's absolutely incredible. And Vengeance Demon Hunter too, which it does too, like that Mass AoE, like interrupt Sigil of Silence. Really good. But Prot Paladin just has insane group utility. Holy crap, and off healing is wild. I mean, in lower keys, you can beat the healer in healing, which is absolutely crazy. But in higher keys, man, there's just so many things that you can do with Prot Paladin that a lot of the other tanks just can't do. The pulls they can deal with, they do good with magical damage, they do good with physical damage. They bring a lot to the table. You got Lay on Hands, you got a Blessing of Sacrifice, which really helps with some tough pulls and damage mitigation for the rest of your group. You got Bot even, too, especially first boss of Brackenhide, that can be really nice, and some other encounters. Prot Paladin, guys, still the best tank in the game, in my opinion, and I think we'll see that carry over. But, again, like I said, I think Vengeance Demon Hunter is rising. I think it's possible it could take over Prot Paladin in the future, and Guardian Druid is going to be rising too. Let's go with the last tank, Blood DK. I think it's in B. I think it's a solid tank. I think it's really good. I think where Blood Death Knight shines is magical damage, and this season really doesn't have a lot of gigantic magical damage to deal with. There is some fights that you have to worry about, but overall it's a physical damage freaking I mean, overall all the dungeons are physical damage heavy. If you watch any DK, Blood DK, and Freehold, you do higher keys, dude, you're getting chunked, especially on fortified weeks, man. You feel that damage like crazy when a couple of these other tanks, all of these other tanks deal with that physical damage better than Blood DK. I still think Blood DK is very good, very viable. Again, like I said, you can push up to plus 20 keys, but I just don't think they bring the same to the table. They bring some decent utility. You've got Death Grip, but you don't have as good a mobility. You can't help so much with the off healing. You're kind of just this solo one-man wonder, you know? And if you like to be the solo king to survive a lot of crazy shit just by yourself, you pug a lot, don't have to worry about other people, then Blood DK is a great tank for you, honestly. And if you learn to deal with some of those tougher pulls for fortified weeks, the physical damage, heavy physical damage fights, you will be fine, guaranteed. I mean, there's still people completing really high keys along with their 4-set. But I also think something to mention, their damage is not the same as some of these other tanks, especially Prot Warrior. Prot Warrior is doing incredible damage. Vengeance Demon Hunter. But all these tanks are doing incredible damage. I think Blood DK falls behind in that damage front. I think they do a little bit better in Raid specifically, but in Mythic Plus, I do think they fall behind. I think they're one of the worst tanks right now. Probably the worst. They are the worst tank in my opinion, just because of the magical damage, the damage they bring, and just how well they deal with physical damage at the moment. This could change. I hope it does. Honestly, I love Blood Death Knights. They were incredibly fun to play, really rewarding. But yeah, I've only played a little bit. I think I've done some plus 10, plus 11, plus 12 keys. Been watching some gameplay for it. I'll keep up to date with what's going on with it. But I just think it falls behind some of these other tanks, especially with how the dungeons are at the moment. But Again, that could change. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know your thoughts. If you agree or disagree with me, I'm always down to have a discussion or anything like that, as long as it's positive. But this is, again, this is based off my opinion and looking at the top keys completed in Raider IO and what I've seen from both healing keys right now, tanking keys right now, and DPSing keys. What I'm seeing, what's really good. And what's not quite as good depending on the dungeon and all that jazz. But oh my gosh, guys, keep an eye out for Guardian Druid. I'm telling you, 10.1.5 is going to be incredible, and I am ready for this tank to be meta. Okay, meta. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do stream WoW, and I'm actually going to be streaming Diablo 4 when it comes out later this week, so feel free to go check me out on Twitch. The link is down below. Appreciate you guys all the time. Thanks for making this YouTube channel awesome. Thanks for always supporting me. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.